精英教育，点石成金。
Hello, my name is Catherine, and I'm an international English teacher living in Asia. So I travel quite a lot, and I travel mostly in countries where I don't speak the language. And the number one question that my friends and my family, they always ask me is, what happens if you get lost? What do you do if you get lost? So I wanted to share two interesting stories of what happened when I got lost. So the first story happened to me when I was in Huangshan in China, the Yellow Mountain. I probably said that wrong, but the Yellow Mountain in China. So it's very beautiful. It's probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. And I decided to stay in a hotel kind of at the top of the mountain. And I did this because I thought it would be easier than having to take a bus down each time I wanted to visit the mountain. I was there to be in the mountain, so I thought I'll just stay in a hotel there. So I took the cable car up to the mountain. You know, getting into the tourist area was quite easy from the trains. So I took the cable car up to the mountain. But once I got to the top, there was still a little hike and a little trail you needed to follow in order to find the hotel. So I thought this would be very easy. I had a map. I know how to read a map. So I thought, okay, this is easy. You know, when you're so high up in the mountains, you don't have GPS, you don't have cell phone service. So I had my paper map and I started to follow the route. Now, it took about an hour and I still could not find the hotel. So I started to get very scared and worried because it was the sky was getting darker, so it was becoming nighttime. You know, I'm in the forest, basically. I'm in a mountain, so I was terrified because if I don't find this hotel, what can I do? Am I going to sleep outside? What if there's bears or some, I don't know. I don't know the kind of wildlife that lives here. It's different if you get lost in a city where you can always find a coffee shop or Wi-Fi or something. But this is nature, right? So I'm still walking around. I'm very nervous. People start to leave because it's getting dark. It's getting nighttime. So I'm really, really scared at this point. I don't speak any Chinese. This is my first year in China. And most of the people there did not speak any English. So what ended up happening was actually a lot of people, a group of people ended up helping me. First, it was a lady. She came up to me. She didn't speak any English. I didn't speak any Chinese. But I think she was asking me if I was alone and if I was lost. I think she could tell, like, with my face and body language that I was very worried. So she called her daughter. I think it was her daughter. It was a little girl, maybe 10 years old, to come help translate. Now, the little girl's English wasn't very good, but it was good enough to help me. And of course, my Chinese was not good at all. So this little girl was able to translate that. I had no idea where the hotel was. And the lady, they ended up calling another group. I'm not sure if it was her family, but there was an older boy, maybe teenager. His English was a little better. And I showed them all pictures of the hotel I was looking for. And they were so kind. They actually ended up walking me to the hotel. They were staying at the same hotel, but it seems they already knew the route very, very easily. So they ended up going with me there. And it was one of the kindest moments I'd ever experienced, because otherwise I was going to sleep outside in a mountain by myself. So I was very scared. And the second story comes from a time I got lost in Tokyo, in the Tokyo subway system in Japan. So Tokyo has a very complicated metro system. For people who don't live there, I find it very difficult to manage, to understand it. And I remember I was in Tokyo for a couple of days, and my friend was with me, but she left a day early. So I was out exploring by myself, and she made a joke to me. She said, people here are so kind. If you just look lost, somebody will come up to you and ask you if you need help. And I said, okay, yeah, sure, you know, whatever. I ended up getting lost in Tokyo. Now, this time I wasn't worried because, okay, even if it's nighttime, like I said, there's always a coffee shop or a taxi, I can always find my way in a city. But I had my phone out and I just kept looking up at the screen, trying to, you know, read the signs and trying to find my way around. And sure enough, a lady comes up to me and she says in English, perfect English, she said, "You look lost, do you need some help?" And I remember thinking of what my friend said, like, if you just look lost, somebody will come up to help you. And sure enough, she did. She helped me get onto the right train platform and showed me on the map where I needed to go. And it was just a very interesting experience. So when people ask me these questions, like, what do you do if you get lost? Most of the time, if I get lost, I'm able to find a way myself. But these 2 times in particular stick out to me because they were times where people were just very friendly and willing to help me find my way around. So I always tell them, don't be scared. But maybe if you're traveling on a mountain, maybe you should be a little more cautious, because that time I was very, very scared. Yeah, so that's it.